So has the state of Colorado in any way limited the work that your appraiser did for you?
Ultimately, they have, although it actually started through the IRS. Uh, some of the easements that have been denied, they're coming through the state first, the more recent ones. Mine actually came through the IRS first. I was notified in about May of '05 that I was in review. I sent 4 different requests for information, completed those along with other information, and ultimately they still denied it. They told me that first of all, Mr. Stroh's appraisal, my donation was disallowed, and the second phase they said that if it was allowed and deemed to be qualified, then it had 0 value. So basically what they were saying is that Mr. Stroh was overvaluing the appraisals. Now with my bundle of rights that I have, that I've set aside in perpetuity with this conservation easement donation, there's no way it can have a 0 value. There's absolutely no way.
So what position does this leave you in now?
Well, as of right now, about 5 months after the IRS had denied my donation, the state came along and they asked for the tax credits back that I had used. Well, as of right now, I'm in appeals with both the IRS and the state of Colorado. So far, they haven't pursued me anymore, but they still have a lien against, not a lien, but show a tax notice for both the IRS and the state of Colorado.
What are you trying to do now to save your land?
I'm still planning on keeping conservation easement. I mean, most people that have already donated can't afford to even get out of them because they either have IRS deductions that would be taxable, or they have state tax credits they've already used that would be taxable. So there's really no alternative to that. My plan is to get the information out, let people know that we're being denied our rights, being denied due process to justice. We've been drug along. I filed 3 extensions to the IRS for them to levy taxes on the tax years from 2006 all the way through 2010, and it just keeps getting pushed farther and farther back. And I believe that we're right. I think we have a valid donation. Irrigation water is a valid purpose under the IRS regulations, and that is what we'd originally tried to pursue. Every canal that's in this area was appraised, and then that was thrown out and we couldn't use those values. The commissioners did their due diligence. They had experts in the fields they were working with. We followed everything by the letter of the law. I provided information, and I'm going to continue to fight for my rights and the value that I know is there that they're denying me.
Do you think the state of Colorado has targeted rural areas?
Oh, I definitely think so. It's already been said, and we've heard already, that this conservation easement program was not designed for rural Colorado. And by saying not designed, I believe they mean specifically for central southeastern rural Colorado.
And what do you think the state ultimately will do with the conservation easement program?
Well, what we've asked them to do is to at least put a hold on the whole program until they get these old issues resolved. Mine goes back to 2003, and they're still pursuing these conservation easements, and it doesn't even make sense. What happened, I believe, is that they didn't expect rural Colorado to participate in all these easements, and they got themselves in over their head. They weren't prepared for the funding of it, and now, I mean, we're the ones that are going to have to pay for it because they're trying to deny us. Well, in my opinion, we have more assets and more value out here with the amount of water that's being transferred out of here, with the estimated population growth it's projected to grow by 2.8 million in another 20 years, which is 2030. Where's that water going to come from? Where's the gravel and rock going to come from that's going to make the roads that all across Colorado? I mean, it's going to come from us, and we're the ones that are going to have to sacrifice. But yet we have no value.
So have you received any compensation from the state of Colorado for your tax credits?
I used the tax credit for myself. And I did take the one-time $50,000 tax credit, and I believe it was tax year 2006, and it's not available again until 2011, as long as they do have a surplus, and it's still in place. I have not sold. I still have tax credits to sell and have not been able to sell them. I thought I had them sold in 2003 and 2004, but because they were questioning Mr. Stroh's valuations, I have not sold or transferred any tax credits. The only use I've had is for myself.
So do you feel like the state of Colorado has broken their promise to you by not granting you compensation for the rights to your land development?
Well, of course they have. We're not asking for anything that wasn't entitled to every citizen in this county. We have valid donations, we have valid purposes, we've met all the guidelines for the IRS, and as a matter of fact, the state of Colorado, in 2003, when I donated, the requirement was to have met the IRS qualifications, and then if you had water, it had to be tied to the land in perpetuity. Now they have since passed some House bills, and I feel that they're trying to go back and apply new regulations and new laws to old easements. And how can you, well, and also there's people that are being required to get new appraisals. How can they even do that? I mean, you couldn't even start to value mine for 03 with today's appraisals. Doesn't even make sense. And the appraisers that have been used haven't even been given the opportunity to make it right or to look at them and to justify their values. So to me, this is just totally wrong.
So the state of Colorado has done this without a hearing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we sent a letter of appeal, and that's where we sit with the state of Colorado and IRS. I mean, I haven't heard anything else, and I feel like I'm one of the lucky ones, and I feel I'm fortunate that I haven't sold any tax credits, and I feel anguish for the people that have and that are in that position. They shouldn't be going through this right now.